There's one thing that bothers all of us, that drives all of us, and it drives us in all sorts of directions in our attempt to sort out this one thing. We strive to do well in sport, in business, academically, in everything, and still we miss the mark. We all have this feeling of emptiness. It appears with a couple of names like I'm not good enough, or I'm not rich enough, or I'm not successful enough, or I'm hoping that those things are going to fill up what's empty inside you. But they don't. Those who are very successful in life, like Andre Agassi, the tennis player, who said, with all that success, I did it. I'm the #1 tennis player in the world, yet I feel empty. At the top of his game, he felt empty. The person with the worn-down shoes and the shuffle and the bent shoulders, catching the bus after work, if he is lucky enough to have a job, feels just the same way. He wishes he could have more. He would feel better. He would feel fuller. And most of us are somewhere in between that. Now, even in relationships, after the initial attention-absorbing flush of it, it becomes empty. It hasn't filled one like it should. Why is that? The reason is we're looking for that fullness, for that wholeness, that completeness outside of ourselves. It's not there. The outside is just full of what you've projected. And if you're not full inside, how is your projection going to fill you? How can anybody else's adoration fill you? The fullness, the completeness, the wholeness is already in you, and it's complete. We've been educated to go in a certain direction, that certain things are going to make you successful, make you appreciated, cause people to envy you, enable you to fulfill your obligations of looking after your family or whatever it is. But you're being taught that by people who are empty, people who've never actually achieved that. They might have got the outward manifestation of it, but inside, they're just as empty. They're teaching you something they don't know, that they haven't experienced. As Einstein said, the only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Here is something to try. Turn your approach to life around 180 degrees. Try and find the fullness within you first, and then set out to do whatever it is you want to do, the success you want to become, the things you want to succeed at, the things you want to enjoy. But don't try and get the fullness from them. Get the fullness within yourself, and then you'll be putting fullness out into your life. Withdraw your attention within yourself, still your mind, and experience that you are whole. You do that by dropping your identity and just experiencing that inner space. There's nothing that you need when you're doing that. You feel whole. It takes a bit of practice to get there, because you've spent your whole life scattering your attention out into the world, or trying to seek something, happiness, out in the world. But if you practice stilling your attention, round about that place where you do your thinking, inside your head, and feel what it's like just to be experiencing yourself, not your identity. You drop your identity, just experience yourself. And from that point, go out and do things. Don't see yourself getting happiness or fulfillment or anything from the outside. See yourself already full, and you're projecting it into your outside world instead of trying to take it from your outside world. Practice feeling inside yourself the way you would like to feel. Full, whole, complete. How would it feel to be like that? How would it feel not to be bothered by all these things that bother you. How would it feel not to be striving for success, striving for everything you want, that you hope is going to fulfill you? And feel your fullness inside. And then do what you want to do with that feeling of fullness, from that feeling of fullness. And with a bit of practice, see the change that's going to come about. And the more you do it, the more assured you will be to live from the inside, not to try and get your life from outside of yourself. And once you start to prove it to yourself, well, life is limitless.